Hey everyone, my name is Titanic and welcome back to another episode on the Titancraft Season 10 server number 158. How is that even possible, to be honest with you? I know I'm starting to bring it up every episode. Every episode I have something new. Every set of episodes I get hung up on something new. And now it's the fact that I can't believe we're actually this far into the series. Like, I'm doing the math and I'm like, oh my god. Like, where's the time gone? How? Like, I remember starting the series off and being proud that I got like 10 episodes in, and now of course you look at the grand scheme of things, we're on episode, this would make that 808 Titancraft episode, which is honestly, by every metric, is absolutely insane how far we've come. I keep checking my index, I'm trying to figure out what resource I'm gonna need for the episode. But by every metric, we've come so far in this series. I'm so proud of it. And today we're gonna advance that by doing one final episode working on the construction of Chicken May. I have some plans to start switching things up after this. We're gonna really start bouncing around the server. So get ready for some craziness, we'll say. It's gonna be all over the place for the next, I don't know, 20 episodes. And that's kind of how I want it. Up until the end of the daily streak now, we're gonna try to do a bit of everything. Just try to work on all sorts of different little projects. And I can't wait to actually show you all what we have planned. Now, I will admit, right now, we have in the books a planned meeting as a group tomorrow night. And why am I bringing this up here? Because we are going to make decisions there that are going to be extremely relevant to the series, as well as I'm going to work on trying to get Titans to get on active and help get other people to do the districts. Because if you haven't noticed, the district progress, although slow with even me, besides me, the districts really have been untouched. And so I'm going to really try to work on encouraging other people to work on the districts and join in with the server plans we made so long ago. And so the outcome of tomorrow night's meeting will be very interesting. I also have some we're also going to make some decisions about our plans for the group's anniversary next month, which it's kind of crazy in my opinion to think about the fact that Titancraft turns 5 next month. Like, to put that into perspective, like 5 years. I mean, this group is nearing a third of my lifetime. I mean, I guess I'm 17, so not quite a third, but it's insane how long we've been doing this, and it never gets old to me. Every day we keep going forward, it's like, man. I don't know, it's kind of this weird feeling, like it's uplifting, and other days it makes you kind of sad. It's like, man, because obviously this can't go on forever, and kind of picking out the end. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say there, but you gotta pick out an ending point at some point, I guess. And in my mind, I guess I kind of have some, and at some point we'll disclose that, but. For now, we live the season like it goes on forever. That's kind of the... Not forever. Obviously, Season 10 has an intended end, but for now, I try to play it like I'm not worried about ever getting to the end, although, in my head, I know when the end is, kind of. I know when I want the end to be, and I'll announce that at some point. I kind of have some ideas for when I might make some announcements regarding stuff like that. Will it be soon? Possibly. Will it be a long time from now? Possibly. You'll have to wait and see. Why do you have to wait and see? Because to be honest, I haven't decided what exactly I want to use to make the announcements, and sometimes it's better, like, I have thought about a few times mentioning my episode goal and stuff like that, but at that point, why bother? Because if I don't make the episode goal, and if I fall short of my total episode goal and stuff like that, and the season length, then it just looks like a fool because it's out there showing that I missed my goal. Or if I decide to completely go above and beyond, it's like, oh, he was gonna kill it this soon, and he just decided to keep going. Like, I don't know, it just seems wrong to me and misleading if I do it that way. So eventually, when I feel comfortable, there'll be an announcement for that type of stuff. But again, don't worry about it for now. Although it has occurred to me as the season progresses, I'm like, okay, we do need to start speeding up progress again. We have done we've been crawling forward since like episode 100, and I don't like that. A lot of it is, especially recently, most of my work on the server, I mean, I kind of just chill around the server watching things, and I mean, I won't lie, I AFK quite a bit too, but just chilling on the server. I don't do a whole lot off cam, And so you guys have kind of seen the server pan out live recently, and I don't know, it feels kind of weird to me because I'm so busy playing Terraria at night. That's what I'd rather play. I mean, I won't even lie to you. I've been waiting so many years for the Terraria 1.5. I've talked about it a lot in the last month. That when you wait so long for something, it really makes it hard when you're already starting to get a little worn out of something like this. It makes it really hard to just want to get on and play. So I don't know. It's conflicting. Like my heart is obviously with the server. There's people sometimes that like criticize me and within the group for how I run the group and stuff like that, but I don't think some of those people understand. I literally put my heart and soul into this group. I spend such a ridiculous amount of time trying to make this server work, make it alive, and it is really hard when there's people that you would think would appreciate it and all they do is just talk behind your back about it. So I mean, I guess that's an insight into some of the inner problems of this group. Is people backtalk a lot. I know about it. Some of them I don't know how many of them would do it publicly, but and most of them, like, there's people in this group, and I guess I'll mention it because I don't know, it's something to talk about. Like, there's people in this group that literally last year yelled at me, drilled me for having too many inactive members in the group, which has always been an issue. And now this year, now that person is inactive, and they're mad that I'm pressuring them because of their inactivity. It's like, you're really gonna be that much of a hypocrite? You're gonna yell at me and call me a bad person for not, and say I'm not doing my job as a leader. And then when suddenly you find yourself in that boat, then suddenly I'm the bad guy again. Like, and there's a lot of people like that in this world. If you look on the internet, like, I talk about it a lot. I'm addicted to Twitter, absolutely. I spend hours on Twitter a day. Well, not quite hours. I spend around an hour a day on Twitter at the most. But even then, like, my blood just boils because everybody on there is so arrogant. You want to fake stuff on there. Like, if you want to see proof of fake news existing, oh my god. The amount of BS you can find on that platform is just sickening at times. I just need a break from it some days, but there's just so much stuff on Twitter, and then I've thought of, like, unfollowing everything politics related, but the problem is Twitter's trending is always loaded with it, and I can't escape it. Like, and then all the protesting stuff recently, I can't escape that either. It's like, it's really hard sometimes when all you see online is the entire world basically being on fire. Like, I don't know, to me that's just not a very uplifting thing to any sane human being. And so, I don't know, I find it quite annoying that that's how the internet is right now. Is you go online and it's like, man, the world's gonna end. Like, that's what you think when you go on Twitter right now. It's like, it's not, things aren't as bad as they seem, but I also think we're making things worse than they need to be. I kind of think that's the human thing in 2020. Like, 2020 has honestly been a really bad year for so many things, but a lot of it has been a bad thing to start with, has been made worse because us people have decided to just be stupid with it. And so, I guess there's that. I mean, that's how I see a lot of it, at least. I think we, as the human race, have exemplified a ton of issues in 2020 that, like, although there's been a lot of things that were bad no matter what, we took them and put them on steroids. And I don't know, like, one of the big things I'm kind of bothered by is the whole COVID thing. I've talked about it, and there's gonna be people, obviously, it's really hard to publicly criticize the whole corona lockdown because most people are super crazy about it. But when you look at the facts and the statistics, it doesn't seem like it was actually that justifiable in the first place. And I mean, when it kind of screwed up a lot of things for 2020, it's like, really? We did that to ourselves? Like, I kind of brought up, is a life of suffering is a life of suffering a life worth living? And I mean, I think I've heard a lot of it already. A lot of people that were on the edge before 2020 and all this happened have been pushed over the edge. I mean, there was in May, in 4 weeks, there were a year's worth of suicide attempts. Like, it's sad. What does society come to? I don't know. It's a tough one. As a content creator, I feel like I'm kind of obligated to address it, but at the same time, you gotta be cautious because people are gonna backlash. I mean, that's why I've been kind of quiet with my Twitter responses. I'm like, you know what, I'll like tweets, but I'm not gonna outright tweet anything right now about this because the backlash. Like, you say one thing that disagrees with the mob, and you're called a racist. You say something that disagrees with the lockdown, and you suddenly want the entire, and you apparently you are the reason the entire earth is gonna die. Like, there's not even room for questioning anymore on social media. It's like, isn't the point of social media to discuss and like see what people agree and disagree on, not just, oh, we disagree, so automatically because I disagree with you, you're the bad guy and I'm the great guy. Like, that is what Twitter has become, and I just hate it for that. I don't know. It really makes me contemplate trying to quit Twitter some days, but I think the only way I could possibly quit Twitter is if I had somebody change my password. Like, if I told one of my friends, hey, can you change my password to something I don't know and just keep it for like 2 months? Just keep me away from Twitter for a while. It'd be so good for my mental health, but obviously I don't think that's gonna happen, so we just live with it. It's not a huge deal though either. It's, I don't know. Oh, come on. I cannot place this. Oh my god, I can't place blocks today. Man, today's just been a ranty episode, hasn't it? The world's on fire, isn't it? Literally. 2020 is such a meh. And it is funny, like, in hindsight now, that going into 2020, I thought it was going to be this crazy awesome year. Like, the year numbers seem so unique. I'm like, man, this is going to be an awesome year. Undeniably, undoubtedly. And that couldn't be farther from how it's actually been. And, I don't know, that's one of those things, too, that's just like, what? I definitely, my expectations for this year have fallen short. I'm still trying to make some stuff happen though, and there's some stuff I can't really talk about yet that I'm still trying to make happen, that I'm not letting go of yet. That even with all the crap going on in this world, I still have plans I'm trying to work on, and some of them are going to be exclusively IRL, and they're never going to service on YouTube. Other stuff that ties in with IRL could, if I can make it happen, will tie into my YouTube channel, and so that could be cool. And I am very excited if I can try to bring some connections together. I mean, I guess one big thing this whole virus thing has busted is Log and I were planning on meeting up again for the first time since I visited him in 2017. And he has bad allergies, and he was gonna have his family was gonna drive out to Minnesota again. And with all the virus crap, he just gave up. He knew there was no chance he'd ever convince his mom, because with his family situation, basically, if he comes, his entire family's coming, and while his dad probably would have agreed, his mom wouldn't have. So we basically had to say forget that idea quite a while ago. And it's like, it's not the end of the world, but it is still kind of sad when, I don't know, when with everything going on, it would be so fun to be able to see people. It's just one of the, I guess it's one of the many casualties of 2020, you could say. 2020 has killed a lot of things, and it's annoying, isn't it? It's demotivating. Like, you have all these great plans, and then they all just come tumbling apart. See, would that look good? Probably would look better if I did that highlight, wouldn't it? If I did the entire rim. I'm thinking other stuff to chit chat about here. There's just so much. Like, 2020 has just been a roller coaster. I mean, is it the worst? Like, is it gonna be the worst year in history? I don't think so. I mean, is it gonna be up there? Yeah, it's like we've joked already. In the history books in 20 years, there's gonna be an entire unit for 2020 alone. Like, this year is gonna be so notable for so many years to come. I mean, every month it's been something new, and most of the time it's hyper. I mean, like, the entirety of January was just the internet panicking that World War III was gonna break out, which I never really believed that. I never bought that idea, but the internet did, and oh my god, was the internet on fire. And then we got to February, and February was just meh. COVID was starting to get bigger, but then March began the lockdown. April was just lockdown. May was more lockdown. Now June is the month of protest. Like, the memes on the internet, like, what's July and August gonna bring? Oh, like, somebody was like joking around if we can have like aliens like crash into the earth and try to kill us all or something. No, I'm trying to think of some of the other jokes I've seen out there. There are some funny stuff, but it just does seem like just when you think things are like, oh, it's gonna get better. No, it's up and down, isn't it? It's again, that's kind of just life too. I think it's just kind of a life lesson. 2020 is meh. I think meh is like the best terms I can possibly put it into. That's how I see 2020. Hello, welcome to my episode.
Whoa.
Hey, today is the chatty episode of me talking about all sorts of things going on in the world.
Fortnite.
And specifically, I've been discussing the disaster known as 2020.
I think we know that.
Oh yeah, it is weird though. Like when you look back at the first few episodes of the season, and you look at how I was like talking about how excited I was for the new year and the new decade. It's like all these months later,
nobody likes it.
That excitement that was back in January has all faded now. Like there's just none of it left. All that enthusiasm I had about 2020. It's like, oh, and it is kind of sad. Like everything this year, and as I mentioned a few minutes ago, so much of it's been made worse by us ourselves, and I think a lot of the hyping up the media likes to do, and then Twitter hypes it up more. Like hype is behind so much.
Dang it, I hate it when my Fortnite hype.
I know, that's why I love the 21 Pilots song, The Hype, because it's such a just don't believe the hype. I was kind of scared of it. I was one of the first people that like read about the coronavirus, and I was one of the first people I knew to like start actively talking about it. And a lot of people at first thought I was crazy when I was bringing it up. They're like, "Why are you worrying about this? This is not going to be anything." And I'm like, I wouldn't be so quick to say that. I mean, everybody's like, "Well," and I'm like, "You watch it." And hey, guess who was right? I'm right about a lot of things, and that one was one of the things I was right about. I knew that was going to become something, though. Although I never expected it to get as bad as it did. I will say that's one thing in my prediction I never thought. I knew the virus was going to be something, but I never. I guess when I was researching it in January, never did I think like it would literally bring the world into an entire lockdown for a few months. I never thought that was going to happen. I don't know. My entire perspective has changed on so many things this year. And I think you can see through the tone of the series as well. I mean, I think a lot of my energy in the early episodes, like I'm still like I'm not all crazy depressed and upset about everything now, but I mean, a lot of that enthusiasm I had at the beginning has kind of faded out now, and I want to bring some of that enthusiasm back, and you're gonna see that. I mean, again, as I mentioned towards the beginning of the episode, what is the recording link that I should double check that quickly? All right, it's almost 20 minutes left to end, but no brain, no work. I searched the recording time and I got completely distracted. As I talked about earlier, we're going to have a Titancraft meeting tomorrow night, and after that meeting, I should pretty well know some of my upcoming plans for the server, and I think you're gonna see a lot of enthusiasm. I mean, I want to do a few side quest episodes where I've been talking about doing some things over the course of the season, and I do want to do a few side quest episodes before we work on major projects again, and I think we'll let the major projects carry us for the rest of the season. I think, not positive.
You're gonna get carried.
Get carried. Oh yes.
Getting freaking carried.
Because there is just so much to do yet. I'm excited for it all. I mean, obviously, there's been a slowdown, but I think with the amount of stuff I still have planned for this season, it's gonna be incredibly fun. It's gonna be, I think, I think, still be the best season ever. It's gonna take a bit of time and some preparation to pull everything off, but I think you people too are gonna be very happy with what you see here when we get to the upcoming episodes and I start revealing some of the plans we had. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I promise you that. I can't say everything. I'll start giving you guys more spoilers soon. I promise this part of the series is when things are gonna pick up. I mean, I've also been hinting Mega Base isn't that far away anymore when we finally start working on our own personal base. I want to do a ton of community projects. I want to get the community involved with said projects, which is why we're not just immediately running. Also, I'm gonna add another window there. I mean, I'm off camera. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna make a bunch of modifications to Shipwreckhunter here. There's a bunch of things right now I'm unsure about and I don't really care for. And so off camera, I'm gonna go through and revise a whole bunch of things with this.
I'm gonna eat the entire store.
Oh boy. Shipwreckhunter will, like, what you see now here on camera is not the final state. So please, don't kill me over. Don't butcher me in the comments. And make, oh, Titanic, this build is so bad. Like, don't worry. It's gonna get better. I promise you. Promise that. I will make it much better in the future. Just give me some time. I got a lot to do. I'm also in the background. I guess just as the last note of the episode here before I had to go to editing, I am officially, for the first time since March, I believe, am actively working on designing the Nether Hub. And why I say this is I've mentioned, like Spawn, they have been two big projects I've been kicking down the road because of how much time I know they're going to take. And I'm finally now getting time to start working on them. And so, although it's going to be a while before they appear on the series, because I have a long designing process to get them, and the Nether Hub is probably going to take me another 3 weeks to finish, in just the creative testing world version of it, and then Spawn will be a while. It is getting us closer to being, likely, I mean, the Nether Hub is going to be the biggest project of the season by far. My Mega Base will be the second biggest, I believe, and then Spawn won't even be close to the top. I mean, Spawn's going to be a big build, don't get me wrong. But with all the teamwork and stuff that's going to go into it and compared to in the scale of it, I mean, it's going to be a really cool area. Again, it's going to be, I can't wait for it. It's going to be big, it's going to be grand. But is it going to be on the scale of my eventual plans for a house or the Nether Hub? No. I mean, we've already revealed the Nether Hub is going to be 257 by 257 blocks for just the main area. And there's going to be a map floor. I mean, that's why it's taking me so long to finish designing, is the map floor takes an obnoxious number of hours to design. It's just painful. It's every time I sit through it, I kind of want to like burst out in tears because I'll spend like 2 hours working on it, and then I'll fly out to see my progress, and I'll be like, I literally advanced by like 3%. And so when like it's that mental game when you realize your progress is like so minor and irrelevant, you just kind of want to break down. You're like, oh, what's the point? I don't know. Anyway, enough rambling, because this episode's gonna get way too long. So anyways, on that, have a great day. This has been Titanic and a little bit of
Close.
And we will see you guys
in the next episode
of Titancraft
Season 10.
Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye-bye.